Hello everyone, my name is Chirag. In this session, we will understand Boolean functions used in SAP CPI Message Mapping and how they help us apply conditional logic during data transformation. So, for this explanation, I am referring this document which is made by Sunish KS. This is a wonderful document which I found on LinkedIn. You can also refer this document to learn message mapping. So, what are Boolean functions? Boolean functions are used to evaluate conditions inside message mapping. They return either true or false and help control how data should be mapped. These are some common Boolean functions which are used in message mapping. First one is AND functions. The AND functions return true only when all conditions are true. If even one condition is false, the final result becomes false. Then comes OR. OR evaluates multiple conditions and returns true if any one of them is true. Then NOT. The NOT function simply reverses the result of a Boolean condition. Then comes equals. This function checks whether two Boolean values are the same. Then comes not equals. This function is the opposite of equals and returns true when the values are different. Then comes if and ifs. If evaluates a condition and return one of two values. Ifs improves this by handling multiple conditions. Now we have if without else and ifs without else. The if without else functions perform mapping only when the condition evaluates to true. If the condition becomes false, then no value is mapped to the target field and the node is suppressed. The ifs without else function works with multiple conditions. It evaluates the conditions one by one and returns the value for the first condition that becomes true. Now that we understand the theory, let's move to SAP CPI and see how these functions work practically inside message mapping. So first we will start with our AND function. We will create a integration flow here with the name Boolean Message Mapping. Here we will add a message mapping shape and we will create mapping. We'll add a source XHT here and here we will add a target XHT. We will connect it. Now here what we will do is we will add a equal number function here and we will connect input 1 and input 2 to it. We will add one more equal number function and this time we will connect input 1 and 3 to it. After that we will add AND. We will connect both the equal number function to AND and that AND to result. Now when we will simulate it, so if I will test this one, all the three requests will fall under false because none of them are same. So I am changing this one to 55, 55, 55. These three values are same, so first and third one will fall under false, second one will fall under true. See, first one is false, second one is true and third one is false. Our second function is OR. We will add OR here. We will connect equal number function, both the equal number function to OR and then we will connect that result, then we'll connect it to result. Now when I will simulate it, when I will test it, we will get all the three false because none of them is same. The input 1 and input 2 should same, or input 1 or input 3 should same, then only the response result will come true. So if I will change this one to 65 and input 1 to 55, here input 1 and input 2 are same, so if when I will test it, the second result will fall under true. See, our third function is not. So we will here we will add and function first, and we will connect both equal to and, then we will add not function, then we will connect not function to result. So when we will simulate it, all the three values will fall under true, because after and all the values are coming false. So if we will display q, we can see all the values are coming false here, and when we will see the display queue here, all the values are coming true here. So when we will simulate it, we will see all the values true. So if I will change this value to 55, second one will come false, both first and third will come true only. We can see second one is coming false. Our fourth one is equals boolean. After here we will add equals boolean, and we will connect both equal numbers to equal boolean, then equal boolean to result. Now we will simulate it. We will change some values here. What we will do is we will write 25 here and we'll leave it. We will write 55 here and we will 65. So what is happening here is, in request 1, the input first it is comparing input 1 and input 2. So input 1 and input 2 are not same, so false will come. Then it will compare input 1 and input 3. Input 1 and input 3 is also not same, then it will come false again. So false will become true. So the first request will come true, the value will come true. In second request, input 1 and input 2 will be compared, true will come. Then input 1 and input 3 will compare, again true will come. So in request 2, the value will come true automatically. So in request 3, first input 1 and input 2 will be compared, false will come. Then when it will compare input 1 and input 3, true will come. So it will come false, the value will come false. When I will test it, we can see first and second result is coming true and the third one is coming false. Now our fifth one is not equals. We will connect equals number function to not equals, then not equals to result. We will simulate it again. Now we will change the values to 45. We'll add it 35 here and 45 here. Here 45, 55, 35 here. I will add change. Then 60 here, 70 here, 35. Fine. So when I will test it, only the first request will come true. Other two requests will fall under false. we can see the first one is true and the other two are false. So this function is opposite of equal boolean function. Our next function is ifs. So we will take input 1 and input 2, then we'll add a greater function. We will add it. So here we are comparing input 1 and input 2 using the greater function. This function checks whether input 1 is greater than input 2. After that we will add a ifs function. Ifs. So here we will connect this input 1 in true value, greater in condition, and input 2 in false. So if the condition will be true, the true value is returned. So and if the condition is false, the false value is returned. So we'll connect it to the result. Now we will see the queues. We will display queue. So this is the first queue. We can see the greater function. This function compares input 1 and input 2 and checks whether input 1 is greater than input 2. So in this example what is happening is when input 1 is 55 and input 2 is 43, the result of the greater function is true, because 55 is greater than 43, then true is coming. In next case, the input 1 is 45 and input 2 is 55, the result becomes false because 45 is not greater than 55, then it is false coming. Similarly, when input 1 is 65 and input 2 is 75, the condition again becomes false. Now when we will open display queue of ifs, so the result of the greater function, which is either true or false, is passed to the if function. The if function then decides which value should be returned to the result. So if the condition is true, the function returns the true value, which is input 1. If the condition is false, the function returns the false value, which is input 2. Now we will display queue of the result one. So here in first one, since 55 is greater than 43, the condition becomes true, so the ifs function returns input 1, which is 55 here. In case 2, here the condition becomes false, so the ifs function returns input 2, which is 55, and again the condition becomes false in case 3, so the result becomes input 2, which is 75. Our next function is ifs without else. So here input 1 and input 2, here we will add a greater function. We'll connect input 1 and input 2 to it. Then we will add ifs without else. And we'll connect the greater one to condition and input 1 to true value. Then we'll connect it to result and we will simulate it. We will change the values here: 25, 35, 35, 65, 55, 35, 65, 75, 35. So now when we will test the response, only one response will get, which will be 65. So here we can see only one result we are getting. Now if we'll change some values in it and test, I've changed the values here. Now we are getting this error, cannot produce target element output response. So here it is expecting some value because it is 1 is to 1. So to bypass this error, there is a shape named map with default. So before adding this shape, if we'll see in display queue, only one value is true and other two are false. So we can see suppress here. We can see suppress. So we can add map with default function here. We'll connect it here, and now when we will see the display queue here, it is passing null value here and suppress is gone. Now when we will simulate it, we are getting the value 55. So here we used map with default for bypassing this error, but if we will not use map with default, how we can do it? So the result occurrences is 1 is to 1, so we need to change it to 0 is to 1. So we need to change the XHD. So now here we are using this XHD. See where we are using this XHD. So we need to change it to this. So if we will see, we have added minimum occurrences 0. In this line we have added minimum occurrences 0. So if we will add this, then the occurrences will become 0 is to 1. I have already done that. I will show you. So here when I'll go to the mapping, you can see 0 is to 1. So after changing the XHD, we can see the result occurrences 0 is to 1. So now when I will simulate the same test input, this was the values which we passed and we got the error. Now I am passing the same values. See, this is working. Hope I made you understand. So that's all for today. Today we covered Boolean types in message mapping.